Adding a great deal of excitement to this week's WWE SmackDown may be a number of huge bouts and segments scheduled for Super Bowl 41. One of the advertised fights is a last man standing bout between two of the world's top talents, Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu. Strowman and Fatu's feud has been running strong since January, and their last man standing bout on SmackDown might put a stop to it for the time being. However, interferences could lead to many more feuds down the road. Matches involving Jacob Fatu have been disrupted by Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. The star was very displeased last week when it ruined his chances of winning the WWE United States Championship. Due to an interference from the Bloodline, Fatu lost her bout against Strowman, who was vying for the WWE United States Championship. Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman have been one another's worst enemies and a source of considerable anguish for the last many weeks. While the second wants to capture the monster, he may be reluctant to let anybody else come in the way of his plans. Even though Fatu may not approve, the match's status as a no disqualification event ensures that the Bloodline will exert maximum effort in eliminating the monster. Things could repeat themselves after the latter's frustration with Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga's interference in his match last week. Given the ongoing drama in Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu's relationship, it's likely that a rivalry is in the works between the two. If the Bloodline decides to step in again, the Samoan Werewolf could discreetly ask Nick Aldis to punish anyone who messes with the last man standing match. Only time will tell if this plan backfires. Fans have been waiting for Aldis to punish Sikoa for interfering in the match this week, and if WWE books their match at the show of shows in a hurry, they could ruin the potential for the long-awaited feud between the two men. WrestleMania is just a few days away. Nevertheless, the Stamford-based corporation has the option to start the conflict this week, cement their divorce at WrestleMania, and then schedule a battle between the two for a future event. In the lead up to the major last man remaining contest, fans will have to patiently wait to find out what Jacob Fatu has planned. As far as professional wrestling is concerned, nothing ever stays the same. The world of WWE, a corporation based on outsized characters, exciting bouts, and constant drama, is always changing. Only one individual, however, is supposed to make all those calls. Managing director of SmackDown this week, the onus is all on Nick Aldis, a guy who has the knowledge and foresight to elevate SmackDown to new heights. However, there is a catch. Those in charge at WWE have given Nick Aldis a mission. The tough choice of sending two WWE stars packing is his to make this week. Aldis does not rush toward this choice. Knowing WWE inside and well from his time as a wrestler and manager, Aldis understands that this isn't only about who isn't doing well. It's about guaranteeing SmackDown's long-term success. Discovering the perfect blend of talent is crucial for maintaining fan engagement, propelling the brand forward, and preserving SmackDown's history as the flagship program. However, this week, compromise is essential. Things are looking up unusually. WWE's higher-ups have determined that SmackDown need a new course of action. It's an opportunity for the blue brand to start again, with new players, rivalries, and maybe even improved teamwork and plot alignment. Now we have Nick Aldis, SmackDown's newly hired general manager. His ability to lead is now being challenged. With little knowledge of the existing roster's inner workings, Aldis confronts a steep hill in his quest to determine who can propel SmackDown ahead and who must leave. He is methodical, determined, and has his own way of doing things. Worst problem is that SmackDown has a lot of good talent, but it also has certain stars whose popularity is declining. Some have been resting on their laurels, while others have been involved in controversies behind the scenes or have failed to establish a genuine connection with the crowd. Considerations outside ring performance include marketability, audience response, and the long-term plot points that will shape SmackDown. To add insult to injury, Aldis can't just fire the stars he thinks aren't doing their weight. WWE's corporate side is very motivated to make sure that every move is taken with the future profitability of the business in mind. Maintaining a healthy work-life balance is essential, yet it's no picnic. Sending two WWE superstars packing is more involved than merely removing, as Nick Aldis is well aware, players that are not meeting expectations outside the team. True believers, full of hope and ambition, who have toiled away for years under the waistbands. However, as the general manager, it is his responsibility to make sure that the show's ongoing success takes precedence. Prudence is required of him. If he wants to give SmackDown a boost and the brand a new beginning, the two wrestlers he fires must be the ones who can accomplish it. As the SmackDown audience anxiously awaits his evaluation, he assembles his closest advisors. First and foremost, the seasoned duo Aldis immediately thinks of a famous person, someone who has been in the business for a long time, maybe even decades. A charismatic performer with a huge fan following. This wrestler once had it all. Nevertheless, the luster has diminished in recent months due to the ever-changing nature of the industry and the audience's disinterest. The once vibrant celebrity has started to fade. This wrestler veteran will be called X. Once a major attraction for WWE, veteran X has recently seen an uptick in the audience's enthusiasm for their entrance song at the expense of their in-ring work. Their matches, while still technically sound, don't have the same level of passion and excitement as before. Predictable sequences and results have supplanted the intensity that once characterized their bouts. Unfortunately, the audience's expressions have changed from wonder and delight to utter quiet as they await the next big event. The devotion of the WWE Universe to veteran X is a source of confusion for Aldis. Because of the wrestler's lengthy tenure with the organization, many of their followers wish for the days of the star's heyday. GM Aldis understands that the nostalgia aspect isn't sufficient to sustain the brand in the long run. But there's an emotional connection there, a tie that can't be simply broken. Reasons for their potential departure. The decision to terminate veteran X's employment is based on the harsh facts of the commercial world. A hint that the star's time in WWE is coming to an end is the lack of enthusiasm from both the live audiences and the ratings. Their once powerful presence has become old, and their supporters aren't as enthralled as they once were. Although Aldis deeply values the veterans' efforts, SmackDown must change and adapt, which requires tough choices. Our second star, the one who gets too much attention. This wrestler has an unforgettable stage presence and irresistible magnetism, but his fans have conflicting opinions about the second name on the list. The spotlight has been shown on them, and they've been showered with support. Yet something is still lacking. Unfortunately, this wrestler still hasn't figured out how to captivate fans like the others, despite his plenty of on-screen and in-ring chances. Such a wrestler, should we name him Star, who has been overexposed? Despite many stints in the limelight, this person has failed to deliver as an ambassador for the firm. In reality, it has just made their flaws more apparent. Everyone has seen them too many times. They've had every opportunity to thrive, but their character growth has been flat. Their advertisements fail to captivate, and their matches often lack originality and excitement. Despite their apparent talent, overexposed celebrity has failed to connect with fans. Their advertisements lack the charisma and enthusiasm that make a performer exceptional. Their match quality is decent, but it doesn't have the same excitement as the program. The Steelers' SmackDown is having trouble growing their brand since they are taking up broadcast time without making an impact. Overexposed superstars have it bad because people recognize them too easily. After watching them on every broadcast, the viewers' favorable reactions to them have worn off. There has been an excess of booking, and spectators can now anticipate their every action. Keeping an overused superstar on SmackDown would be a missed opportunity for up-and-coming talent. Even Aldis knows that trying to keep someone relevant at the expense of their brand may backfire.